Hey guys, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a 2018 recap video. I love watching these. I don't know if everybody loves watching these, but it's super fun for me to like look back at the year. I'm just gonna kind of get right into it. Basically, I'm just gonna be looking through my photo album and kind of pointing out some of my favorite parts of the year. The very first thing I have in my memories is this video from New Year's Eve. It was the ball dropping and us all screaming Happy New Year. It was so much fun. I was with my best friend Blake and all my other best friends. We went to a party at one of our other friends' houses, and I'm actually going to the same party again tonight. But she always throws the best parties, and it was so much fun to kind of just be with all my best friends because I usually spend New Year's Eve with my family, so it was so fun to be with my friends and like ring in 2018 and start it together. And then on January 2nd, I flew to New York City with my grandparents and my cousin Ava. This was our grandparents' Christmas gift to us last year, I guess. They had always told us since we were like 7 years old, they were like, when you guys turn 16, we're going to take you to New York City and we're going to see Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. And that was my grandparents' favorite musical. It always has been. So they took us to see it. It was so much fun. We also got to see Hamilton, kind of got to do everything in New York City. I hadn't been to the city since I was like 6 or 7 years old. So it was really fun to be there, kind of like experiencing it for the first time since I didn't really remember anything. And I had also never been there during the winter time, so that was super cool. And like the Christmas tree was still up, all the decorations were still up. It was really cool, and I'm really glad that I got to go. And then we got stuck in New York for 3 extra nights, which was like, it was kind of annoying at the time because we were missing some school, but then like, really 3 extra nights in New York, can you really complain? So we didn't spend 3 extra nights in the city. We spent a few extra nights in Westchester because we had to fly out of the White Plains airport instead. One of my internet friends lives in White Plains, so she came over to our hotel one night and we watched the Golden Globes together because it happened to be on that night. So we watched the Golden Globes, and it was really cool to watch it with a fellow fangirl because I'm usually just watching it in my living room with my family, so it was cool to watch it with somebody who actually like obsessed over it like me. So I flew home from New York, and a few weeks later I flew to Los Angeles, which was super fun. Me and my mom went for a weekend to tour some of the schools that I was thinking about and still am thinking about. We'll see if I get in. But I toured UCLA and UC Santa Barbara, and I completely loved both of them. And UCLA became my dream school. We'll see how that goes. And then, yeah, it was just really fun to spend the weekend with my mom. And then my uncle lives in Santa Barbara, so I got to spend time with my uncle and my cousin. We also had like a few extra hours before we flew out, so we toured Dolby Theater for my first time, which was really fun. It's where the Oscars are held, so I got to go inside where the Oscars are like a month before the Oscars were actually there, which was really cool. And then the next day, as soon as I flew home, the very next day, I went to the Museum of Ice Cream in Miami with one of my best friends, Kayla, and that was super fun. You know, the like Instagram pop-up museum that everybody was obsessed with for a while. And then I left to go on another trip with my best friends too. It was through our school. It was like a field trip to tour all the schools in Florida, and this was my favorite trip that I've ever been on with school. So we went to like 7 different schools, and it was 3 or 4 nights. It was so much fun. And it was people that like, I was with my best friends, and then people that I like knew but I had never talked to, and I just got close with a lot of people, and it was so much fun. By far my favorite trip that I've been on with school. And then what is this? And then Anna Faris liked my comment on Instagram, so that was fun. Then Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux got a divorce. Then I went to a country music festival with one of my friends, Sydney, and it was freezing. It was in February. It was freezing, but it was so much fun. And it was spring break, and we went back to Park City, Utah, which is like my favorite place ever. I love going there. We go every single spring break, although we're not going this year. We go every single spring break to go skiing there, and it's my favorite thing. Rented this huge Airbnb mountain house. It was like amazing. It had a movie theater in it. It was so much fun. And yeah, I loved that. So that was spring break. Then when I came home, it was my 17th birthday on April 10th, so I celebrated that. Then I went to Playlist Live, which this was my 3rd year going, and it's my favorite thing in the world. It's so much fun to be with like creators and then also fans. It's just really cool to be surrounded by people that like have the same interest in YouTube as you and like can create and then also like talk about creators that they like. Then we went to Sunfest, which is a music festival kind of close to where we live, and we saw Nick Jonas. I don't really remember who else was there. Zed, some other people, I don't remember. But it was fun, and I went with a really good group of people. So then I left my house in Florida, my room in Florida, for 5 weeks, and I flew to California to go to VidCon with Keegan and Kiara, which was the first time that I had met both of them. They had already met, but it was really fun that it was the first time I had met them, and I loved spending a week with them. So it was really fun. We went to VidCon, we went to LA for a little bit, then we went to Disneyland. It was just like the perfect way to spend like my first week of summer, I guess. So then I flew straight from LA and VidCon to Colorado, and I met up with my family where we did a 2-week Colorado road trip. So that was fun. We went to Aspen, Telluride, Denver, other places in Colorado. It was just super fun. And then I flew straight from Denver back to LA to spend 2 weeks at UCLA doing a film program, which was super fun. I have so many fun memories from being at UCLA. So then when my mom picked me up from UCLA, we had one more day to spend in LA before we flew home. So we went to tour Paramount Studios, and then we went to In-N-Out Burger for dinner. I brought Blake back an In-N-Out Burger from California back to Florida. So I flew back to Florida, landed at 6, and then I had a concert at 7. So I drove straight to the venue and went to the Rascal Flatts concert with like 5 of my best friends, which was super fun. Then when I got home, I saw Mamma Mia like 7 times in theaters, but whatever. I don't know why I did that, but I don't have any regrets about it. Then I took my senior headshots, which was crazy. I can't believe I'm graduating, but also like I can't wait to graduate. Then I went to the Taylor Swift concert with a few of my friends, and that was so much fun. Taylor Swift concerts are my favorite, not only because she's my favorite, but also because I love dressing up. Then it was homecoming week, which this year was my favorite homecoming week and homecoming dance out of all 4 years. It was super fun. I was on the Powder Puff team for the first time this year. We didn't win. Aren't seniors also always supposed to win? We don't talk about it. It's really upsetting. So the homecoming dance was super fun, and I went with like a really good group of people. I had a date. It was very fun, and I loved this year's homecoming dance. Then I flew to Alabama to spend the week at the University of Alabama with one of my really good friends. Then I flew home and drove up to Tallahassee the next day to go and spend Thanksgiving there. We spent Thanksgiving there, had Thanksgiving at Cracker Barrel. Love that. And then we went to the Florida State versus Florida game. We're not going to talk about that game either. Then the next weekend I flew back to New York City for a surprise trip. My mom surprised me with this trip, and it was so much fun. I went with me, my mom, my best friend, and her mom, and they had been planning this trip for us for like a little bit, and it was super fun to go with my best friend. We went back to the Today Show. Kayla and I saw Waitress on Friday night, which was a really cute musical. I definitely recommend it. And then the next night, my mom surprised me with tickets to Saturday Night Live. That was my favorite day of 2018 because I had like been waiting to see Saturday Night Live for so long and like see all the people that I watch every Saturday night, and it was so cool. Every time I think about it, like I can't stop smiling. Then the next week Keegan and Kiara came, and that was super fun. They spent the week with me. They had already been off of school, but I was still in school, so I skipped a day of school. So we went to Disney. I just kind of showed them around my city, and I hope they liked it. So then they flew home, and I went to Jingle Ball with Blake and Sydney, and this is my first Jingle Ball. That was December 16th, and then it was kind of just all the Christmas festivities with my family. And my cousin and my uncle came in town, and that was really fun to celebrate with them. That brings us to now, which I'm filming this on Christmas Eve. Although like 2018 had its ups and downs for me and people I love, people I know, I can't really complain. I had a great 2018, and I can't wait for next year. Thank you guys for watching this video and sticking around this year. I hope you guys stick around for next year. Thank you guys for watching this video. I love you, and I will see you next year.